Hi everybody, it's Dara, and it is nighttime with Dara, and it's a little dark out, and I'm hungry. It's dinner time. It's actually like 8:30, which is a little late for dinner, but that's what we have going on here. And you know, I could have gone out to eat, but I want to tell you that I really believe that eating home is the very best for our bodies because we know the produce that we chose. And we know that it's organic, and we know that it's fresh, and we know that we're using the highest quality oils, and that we are putting love into our food. That's the most important thing, because when we eat raw food is mostly water. We're not cooking the water out of the food. So we have very water-rich food, and if any of you have read Dr. Emoto's studies, that water molecules change depending on what word is written on the bottle. Love, hate, love molecules look beautiful. Hate written on the water the molecules look awful and distorted. So I never make food unless I'm in a really good mood and I want to. If I don't, I'll just drink juice or go out to eat. So the love that we put in the food is so important. And what I have now is I didn't really make a plan. I just want to spend time with you guys, and this is the way it goes. We have a lineup here of beautiful fruits and vegetables, and I say fruits because I do have these gorgeous cherry tomatoes, and they are fruit. I am a fruit. I am a fruit. It's a fruit. Avocado is a fruit. But we also have this, look at this, enormous yellow squash, Maggie's Farms. I mean, this is just so beautiful, and this could be used for zucchini pasta, so I'll think about that. It could be julienne to make little pieces of pasta. Julienning is the fastest with my Borner V-slicer. The fastest, actually even faster way to eat this is to blend it. But right now I'm in the mood to choose something, so there's going to be a dressing made in my NutriBullet. And there's going to be definitely some of these leafy greens that I got, so I like to use them. And so if you want to make dressing in your Vitamix, your Blendtec, your mini food processor, or your NutriBullet, that's great. This is really handy. I have fresh almond milk that I made, and I think I'm going to use it as a base for a dressing. I have squash, which is great for a dressing. Orange, when you're making a dressing, we want to always make sure that we have something creamy. So we have our almond milk. We could use, I was on the phone, I was texting with my friend Tristan, and he inspired me because he used walnuts and miso. So I pulled out my miso, and this is going to give us that umami, that salty flavor that makes it, just develops the flavor of the dressing so nicely. And I'm using a chickpea miso master, because I don't like to use soy. So it alters the hormones, plus I'm allergic to it. So chickpea miso, almond milk, he used nutritional yeast to make it cheesy, and I think that would be so lovely. And walnuts thrown in. Walnuts are really good for our brains. It's a good source of essential fatty acids, and if you look at them, they look like a brain, so you can remember that. So we have fresh almond milk, we've got miso, we've got some walnuts. I love to have my little bit of habanero. I love to give things a kick. When I do that, I find that I don't need to use as much fat, I don't need to use as much salt, but we are using beautiful pink Himalayan salt, which has a lot of minerals. I hope you guys can hear me. Hold on. Okay, I think we should be fine. I'll boost the sound for that part. I attached a little microphone, so hopefully you can hear me better. So where was I? I don't know. My friend Tristan is making me laugh. He's such a beautiful person. So I want to say hi, Tristan, and I'm so glad you walked into my life. I met him at the Raw Living Expo, and we always just make magic. We're doing a lot of really cool things, and so it's so nice when our friends can inspire us, and we can get inspiration everywhere we look, and when we surround ourselves with like-minded, beautiful people, it keeps us on this really high vibration where when we have thoughts of maybe going to do what other people do, going out to a restaurant, eating cooked food that's not organic, or having a drink, or doing this or doing that that may not be in our best interest, if we can have just a handful of people, or even just one person who we can connect with, even over the phone, even via texting, even on morewithdara.com, where we can just know that somebody's holding space for us to be our highest selves, and we can know that other people exist that don't go out and do what most normal people are doing, which may be in an effort to celebrate, which is great, not an effort to numb, which is not great, and in some people are celebrating, and that's great. But if we're going out and drinking and eating foods that are not in our best interest to kind of forget about the day, we're just going to wake up feeling bad, having another day and having to do it over again. So sometimes the choice to come home or stop at the market so you can get produce and then come home and just touch the produce, prepare your beautiful meal, and that's what this is about. So that's why I'm showing you that I don't have a plan, because there's just a lineup and then we're going to see what happens. And sometimes, as you guys know, I change my mind midway. But right now I got to rinse the tomatoes and the zucchini. Okay, we have our zucchini, and we have our purple onion, which is so antimicrobial. This also, antibacterial, it also gives us so much flavor and just a fullness. So we're going to get a fullness to this recipe. I think I want the nutritional yeast. Okay, so we have our nutritional yeast, and we're going to just make our beautiful dressing, and then we'll build our salad. Building our salad could consist of zucchini and lettuce leaves and tomatoes. We can even take a persimmon and cut that up, a beautiful apple and cut it up, and just create whatever herbs you have. I have herbs in my garden. I could pull rosemary, I have sage, I could pull I have some basil. So just start thinking of building things and creating flavor and creating fullness. We can do the simplest thing possible when we don't have time, but when we do have time and we have creativity and we have the space, how lovely to light a candle, play some music. I particularly love Spanish guitar. So now we have, let's just make our dressing. How about that first? If you don't have almond milk, go ahead and use water. And to make it creamy, you can add hemp seeds. They don't need to be soaked or drained or strained. This is going to be nice. To make it creamy, you can use zucchini and avocado, a little olive oil. But in the effort of something different, I'm using almond milk, and I don't know that I've done that for a recipe yet. So this is going to be a cheesy, creamy dressing. Yes, I was talking about Tristan, and I was talking about how beautiful it is when we eat this way. We seriously clean up our act so much that we resonate on a certain level, and the people who are at that level resonate with us, and there's like an instantaneous recognition. So that happens. It really does happen. And in order for that to happen, I want to tell you that you have to make choices. We have to make choices. So those choices are not always easy. Sometimes we're like, we just want to go out for a drink. We just want to go out for pizza with the gang or whatever we want to do. It's harder to make these choices, but if you hold in your mind that you will meet like-minded people, if you just keep doing the thing that makes you cleanest, clearest, and brightest, it's the choices we make. We are the choices we make. We really are. So here we go, a little bit of habanero. You might choose to not make it spicy. I am choosing to make it spicy. Cheesy spicy? Why not? It's here. The habanero is here. So far we're putting in salt. We have habanero, salt, nutritional yeast, almond milk. You need, when you do a dressing, you need a brightness. You do need some kind of citrus, something to brighten it up. And I'm going to put in this one orange I have left. If it's not bright enough, I can throw a little bit of, I can throw a little bit of coconut vinegar. I've been really into these days. It's my new favorite thing. So here we go. A little bit of OJ. And I gotta tell you, making these choices is, you know, and we're all human. It's not like, you know, look, I've been around the sun almost 48 times, 47, I'll be 48 in December, and I've eaten all the things you've eaten. I've done all the things you've done, maybe not all of them, but I know what it's like to have those cravings. I know what French fries are like. I know how fun it is to go out for a glass of wine or a drink, and I'm not saying don't ever do it, but if we do it once and then we're like, I feel bad, I could do it again, then I'm gonna do it again, and we're in like what people call falling off the wagon. And what I tell people is the wagon is this shallow. So I'm gonna hold out a hand for people to get back in the wagon, because the wagon's cute, it's little, it's low to the ground, it's not hard to get back into, even if you've done a month of whatever food. So I think that the closest we can stay to consistency, you know, if we can stay consistent and as much as possible, then the detoxes or the cleanses or, you know, getting back in the wagon isn't so hard. So we're getting cheesy. I think I want a little more cheesy. And in order to make this thick, I'm going to throw in some walnuts too, just for fun, so we get the brain power in. And if you make extra dressing, this will last handful of walnuts. This will last 3 to 5 days. No, the almond milk actually makes it turn pretty quickly. The almond milk goes in like, you know, a couple days. Maybe it'll last 3 days is nice if it lasts. Let's see what we got. I'm going to add in the miso. I can tell it feels a little watery. So when a dressing is too watery, we need to thicken it up. Great ways to thicken it up are with zucchini. Gives it body. Put a little bit of miso in. He added kelp, which is a great idea for iodine. Seaweed, sea vegetables are so helpful. They really mineralize and they help us to feel calm. So I'm going to put a little bit of this, I'm going to put a little of the yellow one in because it's just fresher. I'm into like fresh, live. This one is like singing. This one's not singing anymore. Okay, we'll put some squash in, and let's see how that thickens up. We don't have sweet, so in a dressing, you kind of want some sweet. So how about we put in some apple? This is a really creative, super creative dressing, and I have no idea what it's going to taste like, but I can guarantee I can make it taste good. If second time around if I have to. Let's see. Now the funny thing is normally we don't mix nuts and fruit, but I have this funny feeling when it's blended, that's because of the digestion rate. So if you ate a handful of almonds and walnuts, and then you put in watermelon after, the sugars from the watermelon can go through quickly, but the nuts are slow. So it creates just this weird party that makes gas and bloating because the digestion rate is different. So if you're blending it all together, it's kind of going to be, this one seems pretty thick, it's okay. It's really, ooh, it's got a kick. It's creamy, it's cheesy, it's spicy. It's not quite that thick, but I feel pretty happy with it. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. It's delicious. I really like it. The apple was a great way to sweeten it. It was a really great way to sweeten it because I didn't have to add any sugar or sweeteners, or we don't use sugar. I'm talking about coconut sugar. You see me thinking because I'm just thinking about the body of it, that's all. And if I wanted to make it thicker and I did not want to add more fat, I definitely would add more zucchini. I'm going to add a little more. Such a beautiful vegetable. They were patient letting that one grow so long. Okay, I think this will help, but the zucchini is watery, so it's not going to give it that much, but it's delicious. So then we just go on to assembling our salad, building it. I guess the point of this is to show you that, you know, you can flavor balance. Make sure you have a fat, make sure you have a salty thing, make sure you have a citrus or something brightness, and a sweet, and a liquid, and you can and seasonings, and you can pretty much go crazy and just have fun in your kitchen making your dressings. Be creative, that's the point. Yes, it's fun to follow recipes. It's not as much fun. It's nice to follow recipes because then you just know and you don't have to think about it, and you know you have a sure thing for other people. But when you're making food for yourself, please be creative. Try new things. So I have my bowl. I'll put some lettuce. I'll put some tomatoes for color and lycopene. And the thing is, I'm going to cut the onions. The thing is, let me show you my Borner V-slicer. If you need to know what I use in my kitchen, on my website, I have all my favorite items, my tools that I just wouldn't want to live without. And I'm pretty fussy about my cutting board and my knives, and I don't think you need a lot, but you need the right things. You don't need a lot of gadgets, in my opinion. But this is a really, it's enormous squash. I figure when you feed, you know, half of one of these could feed one person. If you're really hungry, by all means, because it's mostly water, but I like it when it's a little bit pushed down there. A little thicker. I use it on the thinnest. You want to keep the zucchini in the same direction and give it a good pressure, but don't switch it around like this and like this, because you'll get cross hatching and you'll end up with cross hatch mess. So there we go. And I'm doing this instead of answering all my emails and my correspondence, because this is so much nicer to be with you guys. Okay, so we have our tomatoes. I'll cut some onion and I'll play some music. And I feel like taking care of ourselves is just so important. It sends this message out. Not only does it help us to feel more energy and to feed ourselves, it's like sends this message out that we are willing to take care of ourselves. And we feel good about that. Okay, now we have our onion, and I don't cry because I'm wearing contacts. Supposedly the gases in the onion are attracted to the water in your eyes, so my daughter's trick is to put a bowl of water somewhere very close so the gases of the onion go to the bowl of water and not your eyeballs. But crying is good. Okay, I don't need too much onion. That's enough. So here we have it. We have this beautiful salad, and I just pour a little dressing right over it. I play some beautiful music. I am so grateful that we get to connect in this way. For those of you who need more of me and more personal back and forth and need me to see what you're up to, More with Dara is a great place, and it's a beautiful community. So if I don't see you there, I will definitely see you here, because I am in the mood, and I love to make these videos for you guys and with you. Bon appetit, and I will see you really soon, and definitely get your greens on. I put some olives on top, and it never looks as good at night. It looks a little shiny, but trust me, it's delicious. See you guys soon. Funny, I can do this, but I added pieces of dulse. Oh my gosh, chewy and salty. Okay, really? That's it this time. Get your greens on.